What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here. It's Oscar Sunday. So, in honor of it, I'm top 10 Oscar-winning movies, which of course won Best Picture. Now, this is actually a really hard list to make. I mean, there's been over the years, there've been lots of award-winning films. I mean, from its very first film, which was Wings, to Shape of Water, to lots of other classics and recent classics. I mean, oh boy, there's so many Oscar-winning films to choose from. So, have my list now. Here's my list. All right, coming in at number 10, Kramer versus Kramer. I'm gonna be upfront. I love this movie. It's pretty much a '70s classic. You know, it got released in 1979, starring the great Dustin Hoffman, featuring Meryl Streep, Jane Alexander. Justin Henry was good in this. It's amazing. I mean, who lends the biggest account of his career because he's like a Manhattan advertising executive, but also he ends up learning that his wife, named Joanna, played by Meryl Streep, is leaving him. Their son Billy played. He's pretty much forced to raise his son alone, and he also ends up losing his job as well in the process. But with losing his job, he does end up getting a strong relationship with his son, and he also has the help of a single parent named Margaret, played by Jane Alexander. And so when Joanna returns, she decides to claim custody of Billy, and there's about that a really good father and son relationship movie. Dustin Hoffman was terrific. Meryl Streep was, I mean, come on, she's Meryl Streep. She's always great. And Justin Henry was pretty good in this. I mean, the movie was directed. That's who directing. And this is also a real tearjerker. There are some moments in this that will put you to tears. But it's a great film. I mean, if you guys have seen Kramer vs. Kramer, I would recommend it. And I'm really glad that when Kramer, won Best Picture, it beat out All That Jazz, Apocalypse Now, Breaking Away, and Norma Rae. And to me, out of the bunch, Kramer vs. Kramer is the better film. A lot of people probably say that Apocalypse Now should have won, maybe, but to me, it's definitely Kramer vs. Kramer. That's definitely a well-deserving one. And in my opinion, it's actually the better movie out of the bunch. Coming in at number 9 is The Sound of Music. Now, of course, this is the heartwarming story and based on the real life story of the Von Trapp family singers. And so and Julie Andrews, plays the role of Maria, who's a tomboyish pastoulette at an Australian abbey, who becomes governess of the home. Of course, there's lots of great music. Julie Andrews and the Von Trapp actually got released a year before, a year after Mary Poppins got released. So Julie Andrews had music in that. And I mean, music won this Oscar. It beat out Darling, Dr. Zhivago, Ship of Fools, and A Dozen Clowns. Definitely sounded film out of the bunch. All right. Coming in at number 8 is The Departed, which is the film that finally won Martin Scorsese his first ever Oscar. it's insane too. I mean, the guy has been nominated for stuff like Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, The Aviator. It is crazy to believe that this was Martin Scorsese's first ever Oscar win. And well deserving one too. I mean, The Departed was pretty much great. I mean, I'm glad this movie won Best Picture. It's of course a remake of Infernal Affairs, which is like a an Asia cop movie. Of course, The Departed has a great cast that includes the likes of Leo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg, Jack Nicholson, Anthony Anderson. Who else was in this? Oh yeah, Alec Baldwin, Vera Farmiga. Great cast. I mean, it's amazing, and really happy that Departed won because it's an amazing remake. I mean, good cast, good performances. Jack Nicholson as the villain. What more can you ask for? Yeah, The Departed is definitely a well-deserving Oscar win. And when The Departed, won Best Picture, The Departed beat out the likes of Baba, Laris from Chujima, Little Miss Sunshine, and The Queen. Definitely out of all of them, The Departed is the better movie. And Little Miss Sunshine is probably my second favorite out of them. But anyway. Coming in at number 7 is American Beauty. American Beauty is stars Kevin Spacey, whose career is probably over now. Of course, it was directed by Sam Mendes. You also had the likes of Annette Bening, Allison Janney. Who else was in this? Oh yeah, Mina Suvari, who was also in American Pie that same year as well. So she was like in two movies with the word American in the title. Anyway, also you have Dora Birch, Wes Bentley, really terrific cast. Of course, Kevin Spacey won his Oscar for this. Sam Mendes won his Oscar. All well deserving. I mean, American Beauty it's probably my favorite movie of 1999. It's terrific. Kevin Spacey pretty much plays like a family man who, let's just say, is like obsessed with his daughter's best friend named Angela, played by Mia Savara. And things pretty much go crazy from there. I'm really gonna spoil much about the movie because I still don't know how now. If it's on like Netflix, if it's on Google Play, whatever, check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Now the guy is still perfect. Also went on and won its Oscar. I mean, I probably would have given sense, but definitely the Lost Movie is the better film, in my opinion, of course. All right, what's next? Coming in at number 6 is The Silence of the Lambs. I mean, you of course got the cool serial killer here, Buffalo Bill, who's based on a real person, by the way. I always keep forgetting Silence of the Lambs is typically based on a true story, but anyway. I mean, lots of people always on the verge of calling this a horror movie or not. I'll say it's more of a suspenseful film. But I mean, Silence of the Lambs is great. I mean, you got the great Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter. And I believe Anthony Hopkins also won his Oscar for this. You got Jodie Foster in this. Let's see. Oh yeah, Scott Glenn. Way before he appeared in the Netflix Marvel universe, was great in this. I mean, it's a really amazing film. I mean, it's very suspenseful. It'll leave you on the edge of your seat from beginning to end. The actor who played Buffalo Bill, I think his name is Ted. What's his name again? I forgot that guy's name. I think it's Ted Raimi. Wait, Ted Levine. That's who he was. All right. Why did I froze up on Ted Levine's name? Anyway, of course, the late great Jonathan Demme did a great job at directing. Silence of the Lambs is amazing, and it's probably one of my favorite movies of 1991. If you guys never seen it, check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. And when Silence of the Lambs, won its Oscar, it beat it out Beauty and the Beast, which, by the way, was the first anime movie to get nominated for Best Picture. So there's a little Oscar tidbit for you there. Bugsy, JFK, and The Prince of Tides. Definitely Silence of the Lambs was the better movie out of the bunch. And so it's okay with the horror suspenseful genre. Because, I mean, with this gang winning the Oscar, with Shape of Water winning, of course, The Exorcist and Jaws got nominated. Get Out got nominated. I think we're going to see maybe, I don't know, more horror movies, if good enough. Maybe we'll see more horror-based movies get more Oscar contention. I still think probably Quiet Place should have got nominated this year, but that's another topic for another day. Anyway, coming in at number 5 is a classic, and that is West Side Story. I mean, this is, of course, I guess you could say like a different version of Romeo and Juliet. Like, it's technically based on Romeo and Juliet. It's about like feuding families who become like two warring New York gangs. Like, you got the White Jets, led by Riff, and the Puerto Rican Sharks, led by Bernardo. Of course, you got Natalie Wood in this. Maria Moreno, who won her Oscar for this film. What the original West Side Story is amazing. I mean, it got some memorable music. Of course, I Want You to Live in America. That's a classic song. And the other cast was all pretty good too. I mean, if you guys never seen West Side Story, I highly recommend it. And coming next year, by the way, Steven Spielberg is doing a remake of this. So I don't know if it'll be as good as the original, but that has to be what I say. And also, West Side Story was also directed by Robert Wise, who, of course, directed another Oscar-winning film, The Sound of Music, which I talked about. So he was pretty much no stranger when it came to music-based films now. And when West Side Story won its Oscar, it beat out Fanny, The Guns of Navarone, The Hustler, and Judgment of Nuremberg. Definitely, out of all of them, West Side Story was the better movie. All right, coming in at number 4 is the great that is Titanic. I love Titanic. It's one of the best romance movies of all time. It's directed by the great James Cameron, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, Bill Paxton was in this. Of course, it featured the classic song by Celine Dion, which is, of course, My Heart Will Go On. That's a classic song. Who doesn't love My Heart? Let's be for real. When Celine Dion did that song Ashes from Deadpool, I actually call that Celine Dion's best song since My Heart Will Go On. And also you had Kathy Bates. She was terrific. I mean, of course, this is the movie about the infamous shipwreck that happened in 1915. And of course, there's like a romance with Jack and Rose, and has saved Jack. I mean, let's be for real with that one. I mean, there was enough room on that. There was enough room on that plane to put. There was enough room on that raft. I'm going to say. What did I call that? There was enough room on that raft to save Jack, but Hey, this is also a tearjerker. I mean, the ending will leave you to tears, but and it's also pretty much one of James Cameron's highest grossing movies until Avatar came around, and that of course changed. And I mean, Titanic is it's a fantastic movie. I mean, who's still never seen Titanic? It's pretty much an iconic feature film, you know. Oh, and also, you know, when Titanic won Best Picture, when Titanic won, it that beat it out as good as it gets. The Full Monty, Goodwill Hunting, and LA Confidential. Definitely, in my opinion, Titanic was the better movie out of the bunch. With Goodwill Hunting probably being number second. Coming in at number 3 is Rocky. I mean, Rocky is, of course, one of the greatest boxing movies of all time. It, of course, stars Sylvester Stallone. It was directed by him. And I believe Stallone also won Best Director for this too. Rocky is great. I mean, of course, you got the great Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed. Of course, the train montage is iconic. I mean, who doesn't love Rocky? It's great. And of course, they had a few sequels that didn't really score hardly any Oscar nominations until Creed came around. Because I believe Creed, like Sylvester Stallone, won, not won, but got nominated for Best Supporting Actor from Creed. Should have won that year, but anyway, Rocky is definitely amazing. And when Rocky, you know, won Best Picture, Rocky, of course, beat it out all the President's Men, Taxi Driver. I mean, I probably would have given it to Taxi Driver, but Rocky is maybe the better movie out of the bunch as well. And who? Let's be for real there. All right, coming in at number 2 is Forrest Gump. Now, Forrest Gump is great. I mean, you got the great Tom Hanks as the Tyrell. Of course, he won his Oscar for this. Robert Zemeckis won his directing award for this. Forrest Gump is terrific. I mean, it's definitely one of the best Oscar-winning films there is. And I really like the scenes where it shows Forrest Gump in like historical time periods, like with JFK and loads of other, like Richard Nixon and all. I really dug that in Forrest Gump. And of course, you got the great Robert Wright as Jenny. You also got I always mispronounce his actor's name, but the guy who plays Bubba, and the actor's name is Micah Ty Williamson. I always mispronounce his first name, but he was great. And let's be for real, Jenny was not that great of a character. I mean, of course, Robert Wright was terrific as a role, but Jenny, I mean, she was kind of snot nosed to Forrest Gump. Like she did not treat Forrest Gump good. Anyway, that's another topic for another day. But Forrest Gump is definitely amazing, and it's probably one of my favorite movies of '94. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of Tom Hanks' best work. Sally Field was great. Of course, you got the great Gary Sinise. He was terrific. I mean, yeah, Forrest Gump is definitely the best. And boy, when Forrest Gump won this award, I mean, hear this: Forrest Gump actually ended up beating out Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption, Four Weddings and a Funeral, and Quiz Show. I mean, I guess most people probably say that Shawshank Redemption or Pulp Fiction show won. I'll agree there too. I mean, it between Forrest Gump, Shawshank, and Pulp Fiction, it wouldn't matter which one had won because all three was terrific. But of course, I'm glad that Forrest Gump won because it's probably one of the better movies out of the bunch because it's terrific. Sorry. All right. Now, coming in at the number one spot, that of course is going to go to The Godfather, one of the greatest motion pictures of all time. It's of course one of the greatest mafia movies. Francis Ford Coppola directed this amazing film. You also got the great Marlon Brando. Of course, you got the likes of Al Pacino, Diane Keaton, James Caan. Terrific cast. I mean, Godfather is iconic. I mean, it's of course pretty much the one of the best motion pictures of all time. It's iconic. It's classic. And also the sequel won Best Picture too, which I believe that was the first ever sequel to actually win an Oscar for Best Picture. So there's that. Although I would have added Godfather 2, but it's not as good as the first Godfather. The first Godfather is just great. And of course it's the film that won Marlon Brando. He was amazing in this. I mean, Marlon Brando was terrific in this movie. I mean, the Corleone family is pretty much one of the most iconic film families out there. And yeah, I mean, definitely a well-deserving Oscar win. And when Godfather won this award, it beat out Cabaret, Deliverance, The Immigrants, and Sounder. Definitely out of all of them, The Godfather was the better movie. It's definitely a well-deserving Oscar win, and this film won. And also, got nominated too, but that didn't win. I mean, Godfather 3 was just the first two as well, but I mean, the first Godfather is of course much, you know. Pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, Kramer vs. Kramer. 9, The Sound of Music. 8, The Departed. 7, American Beauty. 6, The Silence of the Lambs. 5, West Side Story. 4, Titanic. 3, Rocky. 2, Forrest Gump. 1, The Godfather. Now, there's loads of other ones I could have added. Gone with the Wind's a good one. Last year's Shape of Water is a good one. I love Birdman. Probably could have added that one. Let's see. Moonlight was great. Roma's probably going to end up winning Best Picture, but that's another topic for later on. Let's see. 12 Years a Slave. Argo was great. King's Speech was decent. Hurt Locker was good. No Country for Old Men. Crash. I love Crash. I don't care what anyone says. Middle Dollar Baby was great. The two Lord of the Ring movies. Wait, I believe. Oh, no, the last Lord of the Ring movies. For some reason I thought only two of them won, but it was Return of the King that won Best Picture. Shakespeare Love is okay, but it's definitely not the best. English Patience good. The Braveheart, Gladiator, Unforgiven. Oh boy, the original, the first ever Oscar win, Wings, is a classic. Rayman is great. Driving Miss Daisy, Platoon. Well, I could go on and on. Anyway, let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Oscar-winning films? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off.